Kaya ang galing-galing talaga pag natutunan mo yung tinuturo ni coach bago na i-apply mo. Bago yung patient lang, yung patient tsaka yung discipline.
Si coach kasi, he's not just a content creator. Talagang mentor siya. Pinaglalaanan niya ng oras lahat ng videos niya. Not for him, not to get subscribers, pero para matuto tayo, para maging profitable tayo kagaya niya. Sobrang amazing lang kasi konti lang yung taong gano'n na hindi madamot, na hindi niya sasarilinin kung paano siya mag-earn ng pera. Si coach kasi mas gusto niya pang i-share yung blessings niya.
Nag-decide ako i-PM po kayo, nag-enroll po ako sa inyo sa beginner class. Ginawa ko po talaga everyday 3 to 4 videos na sa YouTube ang pinapanood ko, tapos ninonote ko pa talaga lahat.
Ka. Hindi tatakbo yung market, hindi mauubos yung trade setup na yan. Find that bread and butter setup. Vulnerability in trading is our most accurate measurement of trading quotient. You have yet to see your success. You have yet to see your millions. Andiyan dyan na. Are you going to give up today? Or are you going to use the word not yet? Hi ka Miranda, isang magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Isa ka ba sa mga maraming traders na lagi nakikita yung mga post ni Coach Miranda Miner na left hand, right hand, TLSBD, TRBO at mga iba't ibang klase mga profits, scalping, profitable setups at kung ano-ano pa? So pues, ito na ang pinakihintay ninyo. Today is gonna be an enrollment day and let me show to you our schedules ASAP. Here you go. I'm very excited for you guys. Ayan, ka Miranda. So, today, actually, nag-start na po ang ating July 1 and 15, July 2 and 16 tomorrow for the day 1 of our scheduled classes. Yan, ito po ay recorded class. At meron po tayong live bootcamp on day 1 and day number 2. So humabol ka na for batch 30 tomorrow, no? At humabol ka na rin for batch 35 and 36 for the beginner class tomorrow and also the intermediate class na kung gusto mong kumita like this, pakita ko sa inyo like that yung mga profits natin. This is just kanina, no? Almost 300 plus ADA yung kinita natin for that particular swing. Kumita rin tayo ng sandamakmak na profits nung pababa yung ADA, yung Cardano using our system. Meron tayong isang talo pero karamihan panalo pa rin. Nanalo rin tayo nung pababa yung market nearing a 618 area. Umabot tayo ng almost $70 dyan. Nanalo rin tayo ng trades around 44 ADA. Nag-warning pa tayo dyan, ka Miranda, no? Nag-warning pa tayo dyan sa trade na yan na mauuntog na, no? Kumita rin tayo rito ng profit on that particular scalping Halmachi setup. Kumita rin tayo rito ng almost $20 plus 22 ADA on that particular scalping setup again. Kumita na naman tayo dito ng almost $50 plus 78 ADA on this downward trend. Kumita na naman tayo ng sandamakmak na profits on this particular swing pataas after a TRBO. Kumita na naman tayo dito after that breakdown on major support. At kumita na naman tayo dito almost $100 on this particular swing low and swing high after the TRBO. Napakarami. Nako, nakikita naman nyo naman lahat yan sa ating mga Twitter, Facebook accounts. And I'm sure ikaw din, you can actually earn on this market. Mapababa man yan, mapataas. It's really gonna be up to you. Just keep on learning, Miranda. Tulad yan, another earnings, pababa po yung market. Nako, sandamak. Although may talo tayo, $20, 14 ADA yung talo natin. But definitely, I'm sure, Miranda, ikaw din magiging profitable. Enroll na, humabol ka na. And if you would like to take advantage of our combo package na napakalaki na po ng discounts, please email us at eliteuniversity@globalmirandaminer.com to take advantage of yung mga more than 1,000 plus discounts. No? Ngayon ka na mag-email. And I look forward seeing you in our class, Miranda. Again, my name is Coach Miranda Miner. I'm here to help you. Not to give you signals, but to give you, sabi nga ng isang kasabihan, give a man a signal and you help him have a meal for the day. But you help or give a man an effective trading system and you help that man for his lifetime. And that is my commitment and my promise to you if you learn our system. Maraming salamat, Miranda, and I love you 3,000. Hi there, Miranda. I would like to invite each and every one of you to visit us in our website. In YouTube, please look for Coach Miranda Miner. No? And I'm also available in Facebook, Instagram, in Discord, in Twitter, in TikTok. Hanapin mo lang legitimate account ni Coach Miranda Miner. I will also put comment down below yung ating official link ng ating lahat ng mga official social media channels. And I look forward seeing you there para matulungan ka rin namin and you can actually join our thousands of Miranda community members for free. I'll see you, Miranda, and again, once again, maraming salamat sa malasakit and I love you 3,000. Ano mangyari, Miranda, ipangako mo sa sarili mo, you will never give up on trading, you will continue learning, you will put your eyes on the road, eyes on the price, eyes on the target. Andito lang kami, I will help you, you will be successful, you are successful. Claim it, we are here to support you. Miranda, good news. We're actually live as well in Spotify. If you're a Spotify fanatic, please follow us there and listen to our audio podcasts. We're actually coming from a name of Global Miranda Miner Group. Nako, napaka-paborito ko talaga yung mga magagandang audio dyan tulad ng The Power of Yet, The Millionaire Mindset, How Did I Get My First Million, How to Avoid Liquidations at marami pang iba. O ano pang hinihintay nyo? See you in our Spotify channel and maraming salamat, Miranda. Thank you! Daily affirmation and commitment. Ako ay isang disiplinadong crypto trader. I will always plan my trades. I will not enter if it's not my bread and butter trade. I will say no to FOMO dahil I can always earn profits naman in my alpha trades. May tamang signals for buying and selling. Bakit ako? Manghuhula analysis. I will journal my trades because I want to know myself more. I know that my emotions will be known if I write them down. I will treat trading as a business, and that since I don't have a boss, I will make myself accountable to my losses. I will do all of this, I promise. Because alam ko, yayaman ako, uunlad ako, I can reach my dreams very soon. Trading is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and I am a millionaire. Millionaire trader, and I have a millionaire mindset.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be.
Hey guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good evening actually. My name is Coach Miranda Miner, and today, napakaganda ng ating topic at napakabigate ng ating guests for today, no? Today we're gonna be covering about investment in the Philippines, no? Napakaswerte natin because our guest is none other than the Assistant Vice President in Metro Securities, no? He is the first Metro Securities Assistant Vice President, and obviously ang topic natin is investing in the current local economy. Good ba ito? Bad ba ito? No? And we're very very happy to have our napakabigating guest natin for today, ha. So before ko siya ipakilala, babasahin ko muna ang kanyang napakagandang background at credentials. Hindi araw-araw may ginatahan ko itong kabigat na guest, Miranda, at alam ko maraming gustong magkaroon ng opportunity to have a Metro Securities platform. Antabayan na natin maya-maya, no? I'll put him on the spot and I will ask him, no? All right, so our guest for today is an investment, he is a heavyweight in the investment field, particularly on educating, no, our grassroots community on the proper and appropriate way of investing, no. He has completed, no, Trust Institute Foundation of the Philippines 2010-2011, and he is also a cum laude in AB Economics with Public Policy in San Beda University in Mendiola. Siyempre, best thesis, Dean's Lister, academic scholar, talagang multi-awarded student. And he is a Bosconian ng kanyang high school days rather, no? And he had a vocational diploma in mechanical technology. Currently, he is the Assistant Vice President and Head of the Business Development and Market Education Department. Way back 2015, nakailang bull run in the bear market na ito. He's also an administrator of Let's Invest PH, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. He is also a managing director on the Treehouse Cafe, may business din, and Plantasium. And of course, napakaganda ng kanyang background. I was looking at the resume kanina, napakatagal na, nag-OTP din, napakahirap mag-OTP, guys. Napakahirap dyan. Kailangan either may laude ka or ikaw ay top of the graduating batch. Kinuwento ko na ngayon sa inyo yan before. Ako hindi ko tinanggap yan dahil ako may trabaho na. Pero I'm more than privileged to have, no, a very smart and well accomplished guest for today. He's also basahin ko lang yung mga awards niya, no? Philippines Best Retail Analyst and Commentator, Asia Money Broker Polls 2021. I really like this award. 10 Outstanding Young Employees of the Philippines 2013. PSE Licensed Dollar-Denominated Security Salesperson. PSE Licensed Real Estate Investment Trust Salesperson. Grabe. SEC Licensed Stockbroker. SEC Licensed Mutual Fund Professional. BSP Licensed UITF Professional. BSP Licensed UITF Certification Trainer. Bloomberg Certified Financial Markets Professional. Bukas pa ako matatapos dito, Miranda. Napakagaling ng guest natin. At siguro, alam ko, isa din tong ama tulad natin, you know. So, without further ado, it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you our napakagaling na guest for today, none other than siguro sabihin ko na rin, the man that needs no introduction na siguro. No, none other than Andro Leo Beltran. Yan.
Yeah. Good. Well, again, Coach, maraming salamat for that warm intro. Maraming salamat, of course, for the opportunity, and to our viewers, to our attendees, wherever in the world you may be. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So maraming salamat again, and I'm equally excited, no, to share my thoughts about whatever we're going to talk about tonight. And maraming salamat din kasi sabi mo nga sa akin kanina when we were on sa backstage, you have a community na merong interest, no, to venture into the local stock market. So sana matulungan natin sila when you talk about the direction that the market's going right now.
Yeah. Sabi ko nga kanina, Andoy, and even before I have you as a guest, sabi ko, mabigatin yung guest natin, first time, no? Sana maulit. Ulit, no? Sana hindi first time lang, di ba? So sabi dito ng mga nagko-comment, thank you daw sa pag-accept sa LinkedIn. Sabi ni Sean TV, thank you daw AVP Andoy Beltran. Wow. Kaya mo ng fans agad, ah.
Andoy na lang. Maraming salamat, of course.
All right. Okay, so there's no other person in the room to ask right now that's expert in this field but you, Andoy, Ang topic natin today is investing in the current local economy, good or bad. Siguro himayin muna natin, no? Local economy, before we talk about the word investing, local economy, what's your perspective? Talk to us about your perspective and your observations about the current local economy today.
Yeah. Again, when you talk about the current local economy, even though usually ang iniisip natin, it's just going to be, it's just going to stay that way because walang masyadong news, walang masyadong market movement, walang masyadong, catalysts. But really, even in the local economy, affected siya by what's happening even outside, the Philippine Islands. So, kahit na gusto natin siyang himayin, kahit gusto natin siyang pag-usapan sa mga local activities lang, mahirap. So I think even your community members would perfectly understand that, especially if you're into crypto, na bakit ganun? Hindi naman tayo affected because problema ng Russia yun, problema ng Ukraine yun, nangyari sa atin, di ba? Mamaya pag-uusapan din siguro natin yun in greater detail. But again, to go back to the question, ayun na nakikita natin, sideways yung movement. There are days na, ang ganda ng movement, ang ganda ng volume, mataas. There are also days na biglang bumabagsak for no apparent reason. Simply because yung mga nananalo the previous day, they're taking profits. Okay na to. Bag ko muna to. Benta muna ako and then wait for another opportunity to enter and then deploy. Again, because ang nakikita natin dito is may mga risks pa, may mga weaknesses pa tayo na nakikita. In fact, kung nakikita natin, kung nag-expect ang mga investors natin na I think nakakita na tayo ng rebound, nakakita na tayo ng signs of recovery. Last week alone, the market was up more than 3%. So to the common investor, this is a very, very good sign. But if we're going to look at it from a technical standpoint, if we're going to look at the history, if we're going to look at volume, if we're going to look at indicators, wag muna. It's actually premature for us to start celebrating kasi nga marami pa tayong nakikitang risks. No? For example, Coach, umpisahan natin dun sa nag-umpisa nitong problema ito. If we're going to look at the performance of the Philippine stock market, if we're going to look at the performance of the Philippine economy at large, 2016 to 2019, regardless of our political color, huwag natin pag-usapan yun because Philippine politics is a very sensitive topic. Pag-usapan na lang natin, numbers lang. 2016 to 2019, we were actually doing very good. 2016 to 2019, no matter what chart you're going to look at, whether it's the stock market or GDP, GNP, ang ganda ng performance until COVID-19 happened. So siguro to provide you with a concrete example doon, COVID-19, yun yung isa sa pinakamalaking risk pa rin ngayon. Hindi pa tayo tapos sa pandemya. Alert level 1, nasa alert level 1 pa rin tayo. Although the IATF already suggested na hindi na magiging basis ang infection rates sa alert levels, nawalan na ng COVID-19 testing requirement ang mga tourists going to the Philippines, yung mga areas under alert level 100% capacity, no, simply because the government is also trying to balance, no, the situation. I'd also like to make sure that the economy is still going to, stay alive, kasi we've learned our lessons. The government learned its lessons na yung lockdown talagang ang daming naapektuhan. The common worker, the common Filipino businesses, even the investor sentiment. So COVID-19 is still a risk. Ang dami ng subvariants, ang dami ng nag-mutate yung virus, hindi pa siya tapos. We're still under the pandemic. And then of course, Russia-Ukraine, hindi pa rin nagbabati ang dalawang yan. Marami pa rin tayong kailangang isipin na pwedeng mangyari. Minutes from now, hours from now, days from now. And it just goes south from there. Kung mapapansin natin, since that Russia-Ukraine tension started, consumer prices, consumer goods, services nagtaasan because of oil price hikes, because of supply chain issues. Hindi ka makadiretso dun sa airspace nila. You need to go around because of safety precautions. So there are a number of other reasons na nagiging dahilan bakit medyo lethargic. Let's call it lethargic yung stock market, yung local market natin. But again, siguro to provide you guys with a little glimmer of hope, if you're just going to pan out and look at it from a long-term perspective, Coach, if you're going to assume that history will keep on repeating itself, this is actually the perfect opportunity to start accumulating, or if not, start dabbling into investing. Hindi naman kailangan one time, big time agad. Pakonti-konti, one payday at a time, one chunk at a time, just for you to again make sure na you're still invested.
Right. So on that, you said from a big picture perspective, you see inflation, you see supply chain issues, the Russia-Ukraine war is out there. At any point, this can obviously provide sort of a catalyst to a sort of a lethargic or a sideways movement of the Philippines market. No, at this point, obviously we have a new administration. It's interesting that the Philippines market is surviving. At some point, kumpara sa mga neighboring countries natin, the local economy is, I will use your word, lethargic at some point. What can you say about the type of investors nowadays in the Philippines and the type of traders, at least in your purview as in Metro Securities? Anong klaseng meron? Nag-iba na ba compared sa 2010, 2015 investors? Do you think there's a demographic change? Bumata na ba or same pa din? What's your perspective on the investors and traders at this point?
Ang ganda ng question, Coach, because that's a very loaded question. I can probably answer it in more ways than one. Let's talk about the difference muna. The difference between 2020 to 2022 versus what was happening back in 1998. Parang grade 2 yata ako noong 1998.
Grade 1.
1998, second year college naman. And then 2008, 2009, global financial crisis, I was already working. No? But ang difference nun is, number one, the market and the outlets are different. No? So, meaning, nung unang panahon, nung mga sinuunang krisis, ang option lang ng mga magulang, ng mga tito-tita natin back then was, do I stay in cash? Do I keep investing? Do I go time deposit? Do I go bonds? Very basic yung options nila. And that does not necessarily mean na they're far worse. Their situation was far worse than ours. No? Ang importante dito, I think, it all boils down to financial literacy. Alam mo ba kung ano yung options mo? Kasi nung unang panahon, pwedeng yun yung options, pero they weren't able to take advantage of that because they actually don't know how to start. They actually don't know whom to get in touch with. They actually don't know how to, how to open an account. Yung ganun kasimpleng problema. Going back, yung situation is different, yung outlets are different, the options are different, and the way we do things, especially ngayon, online lahat, shopping, groceries, even account opening, how do you manage to transfer funds from one savings account to another? Sobrang dali na eh. So it's really all a matter of understanding what your options are, understanding how to go about it, how to get started. Ngayon, marami na tayong safe haven. No? If you're an aggressive investor, for example, pero wala ka pang nakikita na opportunity, wala ka pang nakikita na serious or concrete signs of recovery, I think for you to be able to simply make the most out of your money na hindi ka nalulugi sa deposit account mo, sa checking account mo, the most practical way to go about it is temporarily park your funds in a money market facility. If, for example, meron kang conviction na hindi, I'm just going to keep on investing, I'm just going to keep on looking at fundamentally sound stocks na magbe-benefit from further reopening of the economy, what you can probably do is to regularly invest, no? Small amounts every payday, small amounts here and there. At the end of the day, Coach, I think it really all boils down then to the type of investor that you are. Not all investments are created equal simply because not all investors are created equal. Hindi dahil nasa community ni Coach Miranda ang isang tao, automatically pare-pareho sila ng appetite for the local market, for the international market. Iba-iba pa rin yan at the end of the day. No? Hindi lahat ng pumupunta sa dealership ng Toyota nandun para bumili ng LC300. May mga iba dyan in the market for a business vehicle. Light Ace, gusto ko abangan yung Light Ace. Gusto ko Toyota Hilux because I'm a contractor. I'm just starting to work. Gusto ko meron akong convenient na commute from point A to point B, Toyota Wigo. So what we're really trying to say here is it makes perfect sense that for an investor, especially at these trying times, no, for an investor to be able to hone in and zero in on perfect quote-unquote investment vehicles, we really have to start with ourselves. Tanong natin, dapat maintindihan natin anong klaseng investor ako, ano yung time horizon ko, why am I investing in the first place, and then let's take it from there. So parang ganun siya, and siguro ganun din yung approach ko when you talk about guiding people, by way of our market education programs, by way of one-on-one sessions, by way of one-on-one consulting. I actually start by asking. Hindi ako nag-start ba, ito yung mga options natin. For us to be able to come up with educated recommendations, educated suggestions, dapat kilala natin yung tao. Alam natin kung ano yung dahilan niya, ano yung purpose, for us to again be able to pinpoint and identify what type of investments would benefit this individual.
So just a follow-up, you said earlier that regularly invest on fundamentally sound assets or investments. Either money market facility is good. It depends on what type of investor are you. I think follow-up question there is, in your observation, do you think the Filipinos today, do they have money to invest, and do you think they're just waiting for the right time? Do you think that we have that cash, or what's your observation to the investing Filipino?
Sige. Let me quote a research report by the Philippine Statistics Authority. This was done latter part of 2021, during the time of the pandemic, 2020, 2021, that 2-year span, they were able to identify, they were able to find out that on the average, household savings, Filipinos' household savings jumped to more than 20% during the time of the pandemic. I think it's pretty understandable because again, wala tayong ginagastos na masyado na transportation, parking, fuel, work from home ang setup, walang gasto sa school bus ng mga anak, walang gasto sa baon, no. So medyo nagkaroon ng unintended na belt tightening. So nag-jump ng 20% yung household savings. Another thing that contributed to Filipinos being liquid at the moment is the fact that OFW remittances continued to be consistent. Consistent pa rin, hindi naka-apekto ang lockdown, hindi naka-apekto ang pandemic kasi nagkaroon ng may opportunity pa rin at may means pa rin yung mga OFWs natin, no? Generally to send money over. So yun yung dalawa. So to answer that question, may savings, may liquidity.
Meron, okay.
But the problem is yun nga, saan namin dadalhin to? Saving is one thing, but putting your money to work is another. Kaya siguro doon din nagkaroon ng nakitaan natin ng jump yung demand, yung volume, yung attractiveness, no, of the new entrants, so to say, the new entrants when you talk about investing. Of course, your community, it revolves heavily around crypto, NFTs. To a certain extent, Coach, to a certain extent, people started making money and losing money at the same time sa pagtalpak because of online sabong. So again, ano siya eh, you can just make what you call this, you can make an assumption lang talaga and makikita mo naman, you can observe, no, na for people to be able to gamble a pretty substantial amount of money, for people to be able to start putting their money to the crypto space, to buy NFTs, buy digital art, no, merong liquidity. Kami in particular with the first MetroSec, my day job, 2020, 2021, we observed record high volume, record high account opening kasi halos lahat ng tao nasa bahay. It favored our account opening facility na online and paperless.
Yeah.
It favored our tech positioning because we're heavy on our platform. We have a mobile app. So parang ganun siya eh. Ang landscape ngayon ng mga tao is really to go online because that's the way to go. That's
Right.
the most convenient channel for you to transact.
Right. So liquid, mayroong pera, driven somehow by collateral impact of work at home, etc. So, I guess one of the big, by the way, isang comment lang, sabi ng ating community, ang galing ng guest nyo ngayon, Coach. Malinaw po yung explanation niya. So well done there. Galing ng comment. Thank you for your and keep on listening. No, we're gonna be even more deep diving, no, on the investment market today. Speaking of, so kung may pera, the follow-up question is, ano kaya? I'm sure guys, Miranda, look at sa ilalim, we're not your financial advisors. Gumagapang dyan yung disclaimer ng show natin, no? So, in this particular case, we invited experts that can help us process, no, yung kulit na market on what are the potential good investment vehicles at this point. So, tanungin natin si Andoy based on his experience, no? Ano po ba ang inyong mare-recommend, no, sa ating community on a blanket level? Disclaimer, I'm sure you'll give a disclaimer, not everyone is on the same risk appetite, requirement, and capacity. So tingnan po natin, but the floor is yours. Ano po ba magagandang mga investment recommendations at this point in the local or even international economy?
Sure thing. Sige. Siguro for me to be able to add value no dito sa portion na to. Let's talk about opportunities from both a short term and a long term perspective. Yung long term, ito yung mga investors na alam nila, merong conviction and merong understanding that this situation is not going to last forever. We understand ito yung sa mga investors na naiintindihan ko that is actually a business cycle. Nangyayari talaga yan. May mga times na nag-overheat ang economy. Pag nag-overheat ang ekonomiya, the Fed, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas will step in. They'll slow down the economy. They'll cool it down by raising rates, and that's essentially what they've been doing the past several months. No, and another set of recommendations for traders, no, kasi may investors na long term, may traders na talagang heavy on transactions. Gusto ko mabilisan in a day, in a week. Next set natin would be yung mga alam natin na magbe-benefit from this sideways trading market. So pag-usapan muna natin yung long term. When you talk about long term, this is me speaking on behalf of Andoy Beltran and not on behalf of First MetroSec. No? Kasi again, ito yung pinaka-disclaimer ko lang because when you talk about First MetroSec, whenever I go out there and I carry the brand of First MetroSec, I need to make sure that I talk about our house call. Yung tinatawag natin sa industry namin na whatever a First MetroSec, whenever a First MetroSec representative gets asked, kahit Tagalog yan, Bisaya o English, ito ang story natin. So that's the house call. But whatever you're going to hear from me, this is Andoy Beltran as Andoy Beltran. So long term. Kanina coach, ang isa sa mga tanong mo na natuwa ako na itanong mo no, is yung difference between the previous crisis and 2020 to 2020. The previous crisis were limited to the basic outlets, basic tools, stocks, bonds. Actually wala pa masyadong UITFs na pinopromote noon, mutual funds, no. Pero ngayon ang dami. In fact, third time ko nang sasabihin itong money market funds, no. Isa sa mga pinaka safe na pwede nating paglagyan ng pera until we are sure na nakakakita tayo ng signs of recovery sa market. For the more aggressive ones, hindi boring ang money market, that's not for me. We can probably look into what we call real estate investment trusts. Ito ang isang bagay na sigurado ako noong 1998 at 2008 wala pa kasi 2020 lang to inintroduce sa market. This was actually 10 years in the making. 2010 pa to sinalang sa Kongreso pero nag-pass into law na lang ng 2020. What real estate investment trusts bring to the table, especially for investors na gusto regular stream of income, no? Parang bumibili ka ng share mo sa isang kumpanya na 100% ng business niya galing sa rental income, warehouse, hospital, mall,
offices,
hotel, condo. So instead of you spending, let's say, 4 million pesos in acquiring a vacant piece of property and then spending an extra 4 million para magpatayo ng improvement for you to be able to, get people to rent it out and lease it. Kakain ka ng ilang taon or ilang buwan do sa construction na yun. Tapos kapag meron ka ng lessor, pag may mga nagre-rent na sa'yo, may mga tenant ka na, ibang usapan pa yung pag-kolekta ng rent. Magbabayad ka ng amilyar, magbabayad ka ng insurance, magbabayad ka magre-renovate ka from time to time. When you invest in real estate investment trust, essentially, out the table yung mga requirements na yun. Wala kang problema sa repairs and maintenance, wala kang magiging problema sa maingay na tenant, wala kang magiging problema doon. All you're going to have to do is to keep on investing And then every 3 months, you get dividends. Actually, may batas ang REIT dito sa Pilipinas na they're required by law to distribute 90% of their income to investors. So imagine, I mean, hypothetically, a real estate investment trust company gets to earn 100 million in a year. 19 million of that chunk of money gets distributed to their investors the very next year. And it gets distributed every 3 months. So you see the liquidity, no? So it's totally up to you. Yung cash dividend na nakukuha mo, are you going to reinvest it in that particular REIT? Or are you going to buy another REIT? So that's a happy problem because you now have investable funds. Parang literal na your money is now making you money minus the headaches of property management. So REIT pa lang yun. Ang dami, coach eh. Parang meron kang...
So just sorry to interrupt you, Andoy. So just on the REITs. So you're right, no? 2020, you have A-REITs, dumating na yan. Nabuto ko, 26 pesos pa yan. DDMPR, Philinvest REITs, Robinsons most recently, Mega World, Vista Land, Citycore. So any of them, or do you have any Kasi I'm waiting for SM eh. I'm waiting for SM
Personally,
REITs.
ako rin. Kasi of course, when you talk about SM, when you talk about that group of companies, cash cow yan. Cash cow.
They're the real
SM,
estate talaga, mga malls, di ba?
BDO, yeah. So when you talk about the SM group, parang sa mall space, sa commercial space,
Right.
residential
Hotels,
space, may exposure talaga. But siguro, coach, to answer that question, babalik ako dun sa context ko kanina. No?
Okay.
Not all investments are created equal. Not
Okay.
all REITs are created equal. Dito sa 7, medyo nasa infancy stage pa lang yung REITs natin. Kasi sabi ko nga, magto 2 years pa lang ang REITs dito sa Pilipinas by October, if I'm not mistaken. So 1 year, less than 2 years. No? 7 REITs, compare that to global REITs na nasa mga, I think, nasa 60 plus REITs na yung pwede nating pagpilian outside the Philippines. But dun sa 7, siguro I can probably limit my recommendations to siguro 3 or 4. So gawin na natin 4. And my recommendations will be in this particular order. No?
Okay.
First would be Ayala REIT. Second would be M REIT. Third would be C REIT, Citycore. And then fourth would be RCR.
Okay.
Let me quickly defend why. So, yung A-REIT, it's number 1 on my list, not because it's the pioneer, not necessarily because it's the first REIT. Simply because, again, disclaimer lang din, I was a BPI baby. Sabi nga ni Coach kanina, officership training program, BPI, I owe a lot to BPI. Hindi ko first pick ang Ayala simply because of my history. First pick ko ang Ayala because of the quality of assets. Quality assets, you know. Yung office space nila, sure na merong rentals because habang nire-reconstruct yung head office ng BPI, kalat sa Ayala North Exchange, sa Solaris, yung mga employees nila, yung mga head offices ng mga iba-ibang departments. So at least for the time being, until matapos, I think 4-6 years yung construction ng bagong head office, you're sure that over the next 4 to 6 years, merong rental income yung at least dalawang properties na yun. Ayala 30th, you get to own that particular mall right in the heart of Meralco Avenue. So you can just imagine, no, parang the Ayala brand can speak for itself. Na whenever you are in an Ayala mall, whenever you are in an Ayala property, parang iba yung ambiance, iba yung feel. So that's essentially the reason why it's there, yung attractiveness and of course quality of asset. And then MREIT, I like MREIT because of the community. Community aspect into it. Parang township ang claim to fame niyan, ang selling point niyan. You have Bonifacio High Street, you have Eastwood City, ito yung pioneer naman sa township setup. So whether you talk about groceries, presence of groceries, 24/7 facilities, 24/7 commercial establishments, residentials, no, malls, andun lahat. kumbaga sakop natin lahat ng spending channels ng mga tao. Next would be C-REIT, City Core. I like it simply because it's the only renewable energy REIT in the market. So parang dalawa, it's actually a feel-good investment. Kasi alam mo that you're investing for the future. Na syempre, alam naman nating lahat itong fossil fuel, it can only go so far. But when you talk about renewables, that's actually the future. And
Right.
itong C-REIT, itong City Core, 100% ng kinikita nito galing sa renta ng mga solar panels nila, no? And they're actually expanding all
Okay.
over the Philippines.
Okay.
And then lastly would be RCR, Robinson's Land REIT. Medyo may pagka M-REIT feels to, but of course when you talk about Robinson's, medyo heavy into the commercial space, malls, no, ang exposure nito. But yeah, dun sa 7 REITs natin so far, my top picks would be, again in this particular order, M-REIT, A-REIT, M-REIT, C-REIT, and RCR.
Are those REITs, are they still within the average of 4 to 6%?
Actually better.
return?
Yeah.
Better.
I think ang average is better than 6%. No?
Okay.
And again, the good thing about that is
It's regular.
At this particular, nung 2020, akala natin, ang baba naman ng 4 to 6%. But if you're going to look at it ngayon, 2022, if the goal of an average investor is to simply beat inflation,
Yeah, that's right.
you get 4 to 6%.
So instead of right. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts. Go ahead.
Bangko Sentral is for inflation to average at least 5% for 2022. You're actually better off putting most of your exposure in REITs. If you like, if the goal is for you to receive regular streams of income. So yeah.
So, sounds really good, no? And people are asking in the question, the audience here, may requirements po ba pag na-cash out na yung money? Sorry, not this one. May minimum amount po ba para makapag-invest sa REITs?
Actually, it's engineered. It's actually designed like a regular stock. So sumusunod lang din sila sa tinatawag natin na what you call this, merong mga minimum number, hindi siya in peso value but minimum number of shares, board lot yung tawag natin. So for example, if it's below 50 pesos per share, 100 shares minimum. If it's 50 pesos and above, minimum is 10 shares lang. Essentially, for you to be able to start investing in REITs here in the Philippines, 3,000, 3,500 would be enough. Minimum. Okay. So ganun lang siya. And again, the good thing about that, this is me, shameless plug. First MetroSec, that's what makes us that's what makes us the top choice, no, for investors here in the Philippines, because we can offer you all those things. When I joined First MetroSec 2015, we were just your plain vanilla stock brokerage firm, but right now we are being considered as an investment supermarket, because First MetroSec account holders can invest in stocks, mutual funds, UITFs, corporate and government bonds na mga fresh issuances.
Nice.
The first and only ETF in the Philippines, FM ETF, and REITs. So
Yep.
imagine, again, so sorry, I'm not selling First MetroSec, but that's just how proud I am of the makeup, no, of the facility. So imagine just being able to open one account for you to be able to choose among those outlets. Parang may infinity gauntlet na kompleto mo yung infinity stones.
Yeah, no, you're fine, because nung kasagsagan ng futures ETF ng Bitcoin in the States last year and this year, and I'm talking to the team about the Bitcoin spot ETF ng Grayscale sa States na disapproved. People were asking, meron ba tayong ETF sa Philippines? And I recommended MetroSec kasi meron kayong ETF, sort of basket, no, one and only.
Yeah.
Which is good. By the way, anong laman ng ETF nyo? Where are they invested? Would you know?
Actually, our ETF is invested in blue chips, in
Blue chips, okay.
TSEI.
Okay.
Oo, so
Understood.
parang if you're the type of investor na wala akong time but
ETF
I'd
na
like
lang.
medyo demanding ka, gusto mo yung exposure mo medyo nandun sa top tier, best of the best, but you don't have enough liquidity, FM ETF is actually the way to go, because at any point in time, you know that you're invested in the best of the best. You know that
Right.
you're invested in blue
In
chips.
the
So
blue
for
chips,
example,
yeah.
come August, I think we're going
Rebalancing.
to expect another set of rebalancing sa PSEI. Pag nag-invest ka as early as July, you no longer have to, you no longer have to think about the rebalancing. Teka, baka mawala yung mawala yung favorite ko. Baka magkaroon baka maapektuhan ako ng rebalancing. No. That's actually the responsibility of what we call the market maker or the FMETF fund manager. Na by the
Sila
time mag-take effect yung rebalancing, you are still invested in blue chips.
Right.
Yung transition from day 0 to day 1.
So, Miranda, yun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo 2 days ago na rebalancing. Yun yung sinasabi ko na Semirara may be added at baka matanggal si SEC-B sa August, no?
Yeah.
Based on market capitalization, on all different factors. Yung sinasabi ni Andoy, ETF gives you an ability to just not worry about all of those. Kasi nakasubscribe naman yan, di ba? Parang Bitcoin ETF, meron dyang Nasdaq, Bitcoin, yung mga ino-offer na ETF ng other countries. So rates is your long-term recommendation, not short-term. Anything else that can fall on the long-term basket? And then we'll go to the short-term after that, Andoy.
Yeah.
What other
Siguro,
long-term would you recommend?
Of course, to add to our long-term basket recos, let's look into the economic reopening, the further reopening of the economy. Bigyan ko kayo siguro ng 3 or 4. Let's do 3 or 4 names na magbe-benefit from the further economic reopening. Umpisahan natin with total it's Saturday evening, it's the weekend, no. Let's talk about 2 bottles San Miguel. But I'm not talking about San Miguel the conglomerate. I'm talking about San Miguel Food and Beverage, kasi ito yung lumang Pure Foods eh. Ito yung dating Pure Foods na nung na-acquire nila yung Pure Foods, hiniwalay na nila yung San Miguel Corporation, San Miguel Food and Beverage. So from the term itself, anything food and beverage from the San Miguel group, dito lahat nakatago, no? Dito lahat nakalagay. And I'm talking about San Miguel Beer, I'm talking about the beer business, the bottling business, I'm talking about Pure Foods, Monterey, Star, no? So ito siya yung I think ito yung mga sinashuffle na pangalan ng Pure Foods team ng PBA. Corned beef, lahat nandito siya sa FB. Why am I heavy on FB, San Miguel Food and Beverage long term? Kasi eto na, nakikita na natin yung stance ng government. Tourists. We need tourists to bring money into the Philippines. We need tourists to revive both the national economy and local economy, no? Boracay, Palawan. And alam naman natin na when you talk about tourists, when you talk about enjoying your stay here in the Philippines, hindi pwedeng mawala yung parties, hindi pwedeng mawala yung mga bars, no? And ganun din siya. Wala na tayong masyadong nagiging problema about liquor ban, wala na tayong masyadong nagiging problema about curfew, kasi sabi ko nga, the government would like to veer away from lockdowns. If things continue to progress, no, as far as economic activity goes, isa to sa mga magbe-benefit because of the expected increase in beer volume sales, no. Yung mga dating pinupuntahan nating bars na 24/7 nag-ooperate, ito yung mga magbe-benefit. Pwede ka nang mag-party sa bahay, pwede ka nang mag-invite over ng mga kaibigan. So isa sila sa mga magbe-benefit. Right now, as far as numbers go, no, tingnan natin para at least we can make sense of what we're saying. Right now, San Miguel Food and Beverage as of closing yesterday is at 46.45. Ganyan siya kababa. But the forecast is for FB to go at least 80 pesos. So at 46, at 47 pesos, tapos meron tayong ine-expect na in-expect natin over the next what you call this 6 to 12 months, pwede siyang pumalo at 80, 81 pesos. Magandang pick up to, especially if you're a proponent, hindi naman proponent, but if you're a fan, no? And you know for a fact that San Miguel is essentially owning the alcohol scene in the Philippines. So that's FB. Another would be, ito siguro medyo under hot water ngayon. The makers of Lucky Me, Monde Nissen, because of the loose flow.
The ingredient na medyo ano daw, pesticides galing.
Oh, parang carcinogen daw, no? Parang, but again, they were quick to respond. In fact, isa kami sa mga unang binigyan ng IR ng Monde ng memo nila na compliant sila. Ang duda daw nila is baka traces lang yung nakita. Because again, for them to be able to come up with noodles, for them to be able to pack yung mga spices na nandun sa Lucky Me Pancit Canton, syempre may proseso na dinadaanan yun. But again, they're confident that they're compliant. But again, Monde is here simply because of their market positioning. Yung in-expect natin next school year, for example, kung hindi man 50-50 na face-to-face and homeschooling ang setup ng mga bata, at least dun sa 50% na yon, malaking pick up na yon sa baon. And alam naman natin, parang medyo go-to brand natin yung mga binibigay ng Monde, no? Wala na kasing time, for example, yung mom and dad, wala nang time si Yaya to prepare home-cooked meals because busy na sila sa household, si mommy and si daddy pumapasok na sa office. Mm-hmm. So balik tayo sa baon na mabilisan, no? So that's Monde. URC, same parameters. And then if we're going to also if you want, no, to be able to capture naman yung private construction, kasi during the pandemic we were able to appreciate the importance of having a very personal space. Nakita natin yung importance na meron kang maliit na corner sa bahay for webinars, for things like this.
Yeah.
Para merong classroom ng mga bata sa bahay. Syempre, knock on wood, gusto natin meron tayong isang extra na room sa bahay for isolation purposes, no? Mm-hmm. Na-realize ng mga tao, na-realize ng mga Pilipino na hindi lang homebodies ako nabubudol dahil maganda yung picture ng mga nakikita ko doon sa bahay. Hindi lang team kahoy, hindi lang team puti yung pinag-uusapan natin. Pinag-uusapan talaga natin yung practicality of having a very usable space, no? So Wilcon Builders Depot, yun din yung isang magandang pwede nating tingnan. I think this is the closest stock na pwede nating i-compare dun sa rise ng Bed Bath and Beyond sa States a couple of I think more than a year ago, no? Simply because maraming mga tao, not just in the Philippines, ang natuwa sa pag-spruce up ng personal space nila. So that's yung long term. Short term, quickly, coach. Ang mga short term picks ko siguro bigyan natin sila ng
Andoy, sorry, before we go to the short,
sure. Go
question.
ahead.
So, is it? So I'm curious. No, you did not recommend Monde short term, FB short term. Is it because of inflation? Do you see them long term?
Yeah. I understand. Appreciate that question. Hindi siya short term. Hindi siya short term pick because number one, supply chain issues. Hindi talaga inflation ang number one na kalaban eh. Yung inflation, secondary effect lang yan, coach. Ang problema talaga natin dito sa URC, sa Monde, yung supply chain issues. For them to be able to bring in what they're supposed to bring in, yung mga dapat nilang ilabas, dapat nilang ipasok, for them to be able to manufacture whatever they need to manufacture, mas mataas yung presyo dahil mas mahaba yung ruta na dadaanan, or nagkakaproblema sila because they aren't able to hire lorry drivers lalo na sa Europe side of things, no. And mas mataas na yung binabayad nila kasi
Yung mga
risky,
unions.
ayaw nilang magpabayad ng regular rate because of, again, all other a number of factors. So yun, for them to be able to sell you Lucky Me at 11, medyo hindi na kaya o ng 11 pesos per pack, no? So kaya medyo tumataas siya to 12 to 13. Again, naging secondary effect ng inflation essentially because of the supply chain issues. I think nararamdaman natin to sa mga na add to cart at mga chinek out natin sa Lazada at
Hindi
Shopee.
dumarating.
Ine-expect natin siya even though they normally come from China. Ine-expect natin yan in 3 to 4 days. Pero ngayon, in a week, ganun yung nagiging problema. Again, because of supply chain issues.
Yeah.
Because of a number of factors affecting travel
Right.
to and fro.
Is that the same lens that you use on not putting JFC as part of the priorities on long term, Jollibee Foods? Are they also
Actually,
affected?
I'm about to go there. Kasi si Jollibee, nasa short term ko actually
Short
si
term.
Jollibee.
Okay.
nagiging
Let's go with your
problema
short
lang
term
ngayon
list. Yeah.
Sure. Ang nagiging problema lang ngayon ni Jollibee actually is yung chicken. Pero yung chicken kasi ng Jollibee is normally more than 80% of them are sourced locally. So wala tayong masyadong problema sa yung supply chain issues, no. Ang nagiging problema nila would be yung mga what you call this ingredients, raw materials for them to be able to cook chicken, cook chicken joy. Chicken is one thing, chicken joy is another. Kasi hindi naman magically pag finry mo yon chicken joy agad. May mga spices ka na kailangang idagdag doon for it to be worthy to be called the chicken joy, no. So kung mapapansin din natin recently, nagkaroon sila ng problema sa potato fries. Yung anak ko, heavy on fries yan, no salt, no. So
walang large fries ngayon, di ba?
Wala, exactly sir, exactly coach, walang large fries. So for you to be able to satisfy the cravings of your kid.
Yeah.
Dalawang
Regular.
Parang ganun.
So
Medyo
bakit
mas
short term sila? Despite that, why is it short term in your list?
Yeah, because of sheer demand. Kasi if you're going to look at it, coach, when you buy Jollibee, you're not just buying Jollibee, diba? When you buy Jollibee, you're actually buying Jollibee, Greenwich, Mang Inasal, Red Ribbon, Chowking, Panda Express, you have Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, you have Smash Burger, you have Tim Ho Wan, you have Pho 24. So you have a number of businesses, a number of brands. At yung exposure natin dito, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and even outside the Philippines, no? So that's also what makes it an attractive pickup right now. JFC is trading
217.
JFC is trading 217. Ang tinitingnan natin sa JFC is possibly 290. So ang ano natin dito, ang reason ko, no, why I believe that JFC is going to rebound is because of their problems before. Kung matatandaan natin, isa sa mga dahilan ba't bumagsak ang Jollibee some 3-4 years ago is because of the criticism dun sa pagbili nila ng Smash Burger at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Bakit? From the optics of a regular investor, maganda yun, Andoy. Maganda yun kasi ibig sabihin nun, Jollibee is expanding. Jollibee is buying businesses. But if you're going to ask analysts, masama yan kasi Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, Smash Burger, they're losing business. Masama ang product positioning, masama ang branding, palugi yung mga negosyo na yan. But that's essentially the reason why Jollibee bought them kasi they'll be able to buy the brand cheap. And they were able to turn things around over the past several years. And yun ang nakikita natin na dahilan, yun ang nakikita natin na springboard, no? Yung losing business from Smash Burger and Coffee Bean, nagko-contribute na pa konti-konti ngayon. Tapos yun nga, several years ago, a couple of years ago, hindi natin pwedeng i-factor in ang Jollibee kasi may mga problema tayo sa lockdown. 30% lang ng capacity ang pwede nyong kunin. Mas mahal pag bumili ka sa Grab, pag bumili ka through delivery partners. So mas maganda ibang options na lang. Mang Inasal, hindi ka pwedeng again, you go to Mang Inasal because of the only rice experience. Kapag nagpa-deliver ka ng Mang Inasal, hindi ka pwedeng sabihin na pwede bang magpagdagdag ng 8 cup ng rice. Hindi mo pwedeng gawin 'yun. Chicken oil experience, no? So what I'm trying to say here is it's a totally different experience if you have the option to dine in. At yun yung unti-unti natin na nakikita na pinapaboran na ng gobyerno. Sabi ko nga kanina, Coach, no, 100% seating capacity pag nasa level 1 ka, things are going back to normal, yung mga foot traffic natin sa malls, no. So it's it's setting the stage up for Jollibee. So ganun ang tingin natin dito, both from a technical and fundamental standpoint. Possibly 289 si
Okay.
Jollibee.
So Jollibee short term, just a little bit of long term muna. Rates, FB, Mod, Welcon, not short term because you're seeing some supply chain issues on them. Short term, JFC, anything else on short term?
Pag-usapan natin, Coach, siguro yung mga beneficiaries naman of this high interest rate environment.
Okay.
Siguro for context, not that minamaliit natin yung mga audience natin, pero para lang ma-support natin yung claim, no. When the government increases rates, it slows down the economy. Okay? Kasi syempre magdadalawang isip ka, magka-car loan ba ako, mag-housing loan ba ako, magbe-business loan ba ako. Sa stock market, ganun din ang magiging epekto nun kasi hindi masyadong magiging active ang galaw ng mga businesses because it's going to discourage lending. Mahal ang rate, no. So but ang magiging prime beneficiaries nito would be banks. Kasi lahat ng pupunta sa kanila, sigurado sila na ito yung these people, these businesses, these are the ones who really mean business. Because despite the high interest rate environment, ito yung talagang mga gustong makipag-transact sa amin, gustong kumuha ng loan because they have something planned, no? And that's why we love BPI and BDO. Ito yung sinasabi ko na if I'm going to talk and carry the first MetroSec brand, I cannot recommend Metro Bank because conflict of interest. Kasi syempre it's our parent firm. Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin, buy this, buy that, no. I'm going to leave that to our partner DBS, Development Bank of Singapore. Sila yung in charge sa GT Capital and sa Metro Bank. Para at least alam nyo na I'm not hyping, I'm not doing this for business purposes. I'm really doing this for recommendatory purposes. So BPI and BDO, net earnings growth ang labanan dyan. BDO, cash cow, lahat ng SM group of companies, dyan pumupunta ang businesses. Before you can start running a business sa isang SM mall, sa isang affiliate, dapat lahat ng transaction mo dadaan sa BDO, dapat meron kang BDO account. So lahat doon naka-funnel sa kanila, no? It's very, very, very heavy on cash and that's actually good, especially at this time. Maganda ang effect sa BPI and BDO ng further reopening. BPI in particular, yung pag-announce nila na free na ang transfer to and from GCash, malaking effect yon sa kanila because of liquidity, because of CASA volume, no. So that's what made me think na okay to for short term. BPI, it's doing BPI is doing 87. Ang projection natin dito is possibly 99. Medyo psychological barrier kasi ang 99 to 100, but let's be conservative at 99, so 87 to 99. BDO on the other hand is doing 118. projection is it for it to get you an extra 30 pesos per share at 148. So ayun siya. Next would be ano pa bang magandang ano natin? Ayala Land. I think coach ito yung pwedeng last natin, no? Last but not the least, no. Ayala Land, sabi nga natin kanina when I was talking about Ayala Real Estate, no. Ayala REIT. Next in line, you talk about malls, you talk about residentials. Ali is second sa malls. Next, of course, to SM. Pero si Ali, Ayala Land, is the first when you talk about the residential market. So andun siya, very, very prominent yung land bank niya, very prominent yung mga establishments, no. Medyo may konting premium pricing. Pero again, that's what you pay for. You pay for the brand. You pay for quality. No? Ayala Land is actually doing ito. Medyo astounding to, no, for a local stock. But Ayala Land is now doing 25.90. Give or take 26 pesos. But the projection is for it to go 49. Again,
Wow.
ano to? Medyo may pagka psychological barrier ulit yung 49 to 50.
I need you to defend that, kasi I'm a long-term holder of Ayala Land, but I'll be very honest with you, I'm not recommending Ayala Land. So, exactly to your point, there's a psychological barrier around 30-35. Tumitingin ka siya dyan eh. So parang sasabihin, merong psychological price barrier. So defend to me bakit Ayala Land. Maybe I can get convinced.
Sure. Kasi ito, from a numbers standpoint, no, tingnan natin yung take-ups. Kasi sa real estate space, it's one thing that you're building stuff, and it's another if you're selling it, if you're able to sell them. No? When you talk about space take-ups or unit take-ups, ang goal nila for this year in particular, 100 billion. Yun talaga yung goal nila, 100 billion ng take-ups. As of mid-year, nasa more than 60% na sila doon, getting there. So medyo may momentum. When you talk about take-up, no? When you talk about the sellability, ang view natin dito is yung management. No? This is again Ayala. This is independent of Ayala REIT. Kasi ang REIT, for them to be able to offer REITs, bibilin dapat ng REIT company yan sa Ayala. So again, this is totally independent of e-REIT. No? So ang management ng Ali, nakita nila yung factors that support their segment. Ang segment alam natin ng Ayala is medyo the middle class to the upper class.
The upper class.
So nakita nila yun at doon talaga natin nakikita yung liquidity, doon natin nakikita yung funding, doon natin nakikita yung capacity for them to be able to pay. Ang nangyayari din ngayon is because bumabalik ang on-site, medyo bumabalik din yung appetite for people to start renting, to start leasing units na malapit sa CBD, malapit sa Makati, malapit sa Ortigas, malapit sa BGC, and bulk of their properties, bulk of their assets are perfectly situated dun sa CBD, no? Again, pagpunta naman tayo sa Ali being the second largest mall provider, no? So meron kang residential, your top.
You have commercial.
Tapos meron ka pang commercial arm working for you. Again, this is totally independent of the commercial properties ng A-REIT, no? Being the second largest mall developer in terms of ano ba yung metrics natin sa malls? Gross floor space na narerentahan, revenue base. Ang SM at ang Ayala during the time of the pandemic, 2020 and 2021, meron silang tinatawag na rental reprieve. Ibig sabihin dito, for them to be able to retain their tenants, sige, huwag mong bayaran yung regular rate mo sa kontrata. Bayaran mo na lang yung certain percentage of what you're making every month. Yung tinatawag natin na rental reprieve. For again, ano yun? Medyo for humanitarian business
kasi walang
purpose.
kita eh.
Walang kita eh. Pero ngayon, wala na yung mga rental reprieve na yan. So if they were doing quite okay noong 2020 at 2021, all the more, dapat mas okay ngayon because again, 100% capacity, wala na masyadong mask regulations na lang ngayon. Wala ka nang hindi ka na pipirma, hindi ka na magko-QR code before you enter the mall. Every establishment, wala nang mga kap-kap, wala nang kung ano-ano. Go there, you can freely go there, no? Yung mga bata nandun.
Right.
Alam naman natin yung mga bata, parang kahit wala kang intensyon na gumastos pagpunta sa mall, pag may tinuro sa yan,
Gastos pa din.
no problem. Gastos, no? Whether it's a toy, it's something else, food, no? So that's essentially the reason why they are encouraging families to go there because of the experience and at the same time yung unintended gastos, no? So going back, we see further relaxation of quarantine measures, quarantine protocol, what else? Improving mobility. We see a shift in consumer spending back to stores. So medyo kung makikita mo yung pag-skew ng spending behavior ng tao from heavy online to less stores, ngayon medyo nag-50-50 na. Kasi syempre iba yung usapan, Coach, when you talk about being able to buy something na tangible, nakikita mo. Compared dun sa pag-identify ng mga gusto mo online kasi lalo na minsan may experience tayo na you're receiving the wrong item so mas matagal pa especially kung kailangan mo na talaga agad and yun that psyche no just makes us more confident that medyo itong Ayala Land is poised for rebound, poised for growth.
Okay. So, ang dami nating nalaman ka, Miranda. Grabe, really great information. Siguro, I'm gonna be down to my last 3 questions, Andoy. No?
Sure.
Number 1, based on sa audience natin today, Coach, can you ask Andoy, what does he mean by long-term and short-term? How long is that in months, years? Give us a little bit of definition of that long-term and short-term.
Sure. Sa local stock market semantics, no? When you talk about short-term, it's 12 months and below. 12 months and below. So less than 1 year short term. When you talk about long term, you talk about more than 12 months to 24 months. 12, 18, 24 months. Mabilis lang yan actually eh. Ibang usapan yung punting. Hindi short term para sa amin ang punting na minutes ang usapan, weeks ang usapan, days ang usapan. But we also cover that. No? Yun nga lang, when you talk about the market, when you talk about certain stock picks, I think yun yung value of having a first MetroSec account and the value of being able to being a part of our Facebook and Viber communities na free naman kahit hindi ka first MetroSec account holder. No? Kasi we provide you with daily recommendations. So pwedeng yung mga daily recommendations namin, usually ang inclination niya nasa weeks to months ang time frame. And to be perfectly honest, masaya kami with our batting average because our short-term picks, we usually get it right 72-73% of the time. Tapos ang average returns namin dun sa short-term picks namin somewhere between 10 to 11%. So again, not bad considering that the market is actually down right now. No? So yun siya. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina backstage, Coach, na it's one thing that we have reports na 100% fundamentals. We have reports 100% charts, and we also happen to have reports na combination of the two. And yun. Ito yung sinasabi natin na 72% batting average, about 10-11% average returns. No?
So not bad for an investor hat. No, like just leave your money there versus ito I know you guys have mutual funds. I know you guys have UITF. Do you recommend doing that? Of course, premise iba-iba yung risk appetite. Do you recommend participating in the market if they have some awareness versus paying annual management charges on mutuals?
Actually, again, this is not me plugging First MetroSec, but if and when you decide to invest in UITFs or mutual funds through First MetroSec, panalo ka na eh. Why? Because wala kang babayaran na entry fee, wala kang sales loads, wala kang commissions, wala kang transaction fees. When you invest directly sa mutual funds or UITFs, nung partners namin, sila na mismo, didirekta ka sa kanila, hindi mo papadaanin sa First MetroSec. Meron ka nun, meron kang sales loads, some of them charge transaction fees, some of them charge commissions because you're talking to individuals. You're
They
talking
need
to
pay for them.
agents. This time with First MetroSec, we're actually teaching you to be independent. We're actually teaching you to do it on your own. So if you're doing it on your own, if you're just being guided by the platform, bakit kami maniningil, no? So may safety net naman doon. Before you start investing in funds through FundSmart, First MetroSec, we're going to require you to undergo a very quick investor personality quiz. 7 questions just for us to be able to identify what type of investor you are and for us to be able to limit your choices. Parang ifa-funnel namin yung mga choices mo from I think ang population ng funds namin ngayon is close to 110 na. Ganun karami yung choices mo. So for you to, para hindi ka naman ma-overwhelm, i-limit natin yun based on the results of the quiz, of the test. And then that's where we're going to, we're going to take it from there. Yung value kasi, coach, ng funds ngayon this is a totally different topic altogether. Why? Kasi meron kang access sa international markets. Ganun kaganda ang exposure, ganun kaganda ang funds, no? Yung UITFs and mutual funds. Because simply by buying them, lalo na yung mga, for example, gusto mong further diversification outside the Philippines na, may mga dollar-denominated funds na pwede mong bilhin in pesos. So no need for you to open a separate dollar account, no need for you to buy dollars for you to just for you to be able to have a certain exposure to Amazon, Apple, no? No need for you to do that. We have mutual funds na merong US exposure. Fresh sa utak ko to because ito yung webinar ko kahapon with Manulife Investment Management. They have global REIT feeder funds. So ibig sabihin nun, if you find the Philippines. If you find the local REIT space medyo infant pa, boring pa, hindi ka sold.
This is Manulife feeding or is it MetroSec? Is it Manulife?
This is Manulife availed through First MetroSec.
Got it.
So
Okay.
Manulife global REIT feeder fund, you get exposure to REITs in the United States of America, in Europe, in
That's
Japan. 40 to 60, of course, nare-rebalance yan eh. So hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na, this juncture 40 to 60 different REITs from developed economies. Tapos, kung sakaling gusto mo naman ng exposure both developed and emerging, meron din silang ganon. Meron silang Asia Pacific REIT Fund of Funds. So meron kang exposure sa Singapore, meron kang exposure Malaysia, Hong Kong, and of course the Philippines, no? Without you having to buy a REIT, M-REIT individually. So what makes it a very good investment opportunity for people na nakakaintindi ng REIT pero busy is you get to outsource. Literal na ina-outsource mo yung fund management, yung monitoring dun sa fund manager. Ang dapat mo lang gawin is you just keep on buying that particular fund, and then yung paglalaro nila dun, sila na bahala. Ano ba? Are we going to go overweight sa Singapore? Kasi nakikita natin, bumabalik na yung appetite for rental sa Singapore. Babawasan ba natin yung exposure natin sa Malaysia? Dadagdagan ba natin sa Japan? So you allow them to take care of those problems. Tapos ikaw, medyo petics lang, relax, Netflix lang because alam mo that you have fund managers working for you.
Right. So, thank you so much for that, Andoy. Siguro I'm go down to my last question, no? And
Sure thing.
ang dami kasing comments dito sa ating chat room today. Grabe, precise and deep analysis. Thank you, Sir Andoy. Refreshing to hear insights about different investment vehicles here in the channel. Thank you. Yeah, I think really good comments. Siguro, why don't... I really wanted to kind of cut this because I want a part 2 ka Miranda. No? I think ang dami namin pwedeng i-discuss ni Andoy together. And I think more exciting things to come on this partnership, obviously. And I would like to reserve a lot of international market discussions next time. Kaya I'm really leading on local at this point. Any words that you'd like to leave? You know, Saturday night, everyone's gonna be reflecting today, tomorrow, this weekend. Any words from you from an experience, no, in this market? Maybe on the lens of an investor. May pera ako ngayon. I am liquid today. I'm just waiting for where to invest. High level, 10,000 foot above the ground. What's gonna be your advice to our Miranda today that's listening for you from an investment perspective?
Siguro first and foremost, we have to I don't want to say go back to basics, no, but we have to understand that when you talk about investing, when you talk about running a business, when you talk about being very serious with what you're supposed to do with your money, we have to put emotions aside. We're going to lose 100% of the time if we let emotions rule our decision making. No? Why am I saying that? Because when you talk about investing, whether short-term trading, long-term investing, logic talaga yan, coach. Logic. No? Ano ba yung sinasabi sa'yo ng short? May favoritism tayo. Pag sinabi mong may favoritism ka, dahil nagtrabaho ko before sa BPI, dahil yung ex ko nagtrabaho dyan, ayoko niyan, may konting biases tayo, and that's perfectly okay because again, that's what makes us humans. Ang problema lang if we let those biases and those emotions rule us. Actually madali kung talagang titingnan natin yung rules, no? You talk about charts, support, resistance, you talk about fundamentals, are they okay now, are they good long term? Madali siya kung sa madali if we're going to be very logical about it. So that's the first rule of thumb na pwede nating i-share doon, no? Especially at this day and age na sobrang dali for us to make rash decisions na medyo guided falsely by politics, guided by hearsay, guided by hyping. Maraming pwedeng triggers, no? But if you stick to what you know, if you understand yourself as an investor, if you understand your options, alam mo na naiintindihan mo, pwedeng bumaba to, pwedeng bumagsak pa to ng mas malala. But if you know, if you're making informed investment decisions, medyo less yung kaba. And again, that's actually the good thing about having a community like yours, no? Medyo may konting reinforcement from people who share the same sentiment with you, at medyo merong konting check and balance if you get to hear opinions, if you get to hear analysis from people na medyo hindi nag-agree with you. That's a good thing about that, no? Nagkakaroon tayo ng opportunity to learn more about ourselves by virtue of having a community, and by virtue of having things like this na parati nating ibinibigay sa kanila, no? Na walang bias, walang hype, walang benta-benta. It's really all about making sure that they make informed investment decisions. So yun, importante talaga guys yung logic. Walang masama sa pagiging emotional, part yan ng pagiging tao natin, pero wag nating pabayaan, no, na mag-rule yun. Emotions make the decisions for us.
Very well said. Grabe. Really well said, and we really cannot get enough of all the wisdom that we can get from you today, Andoy, especially from someone who has a great experience, no, from the investment field. I hope hindi ito yung huli, no? And I'm sure the Mirandas are gonna be looking forward to have you again as a guest. And thank you again for you, and kahit alas 10 na ng gabi, Sabado, you're still here. I know maybe your kids are waiting for you already, this weekend. And thank you to Metro Securities, first Metro Securities, for being with us on educating our community and sharing the passion with us as well on educating the retailer community, no? And I hope again hindi ito yung last, And I know hindi ito yung last kasi Miranda, I spoke with Andoy offline. Okay, pag-uusapan pa rin namin to. Let's not hold him accountable, pero sasabihin ko na, no? There's gonna be sort of a contest for us in the future kung saan we can potentially give away. Ikaw na nga mag-announce, Andoy. Huwag na ako.
Yeah. We're actually looking at setting up, organizing a few events, a few webinars, lectures, no, for you guys to be able to understand the local stock market better, the local investment scene better. And who knows, no, kung merong interested, if there's traction, we probably acquaint you with everything you need to know about First MetroSec, about our platform, about our mobile app. And in the process, no, during that series of webinars, series of events, we're going to raffle off First MetroSec Pro Access, free First MetroSec Pro Access to siguro three lucky individuals. Tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging metrics natin, pag-uusapan natin yan. But the goal really is for you guys, for us to make you experience, yabang na to, dagdagan ko na ng yabang, coach, no? For you guys to be able to experience why First MetroSec has been consistently, regularly being named as the best online stock brokerage firm in the Philippines from the past 5-7 years. So ayun lang, for us to make you guys appreciate the platform, at para makatulong na rin kasi syempre yung platform na yan, hindi naman yan produkto ng brainstorming lang namin. Yung community ng yung mga Miranda, kung may community ang First MetroSec na sila yung tinatanong namin, anong gusto nyong ilagay natin sa platform next? And I think that's what makes it a very productive partnership, a productive relationship, because you guys get some sort sense of ownership dun sa platform because merong input na kinukuha from you.
Yan. So we're very excited. Everyone is excited here in the chat room. And everyone is saying wow. No, but thank you again, no, Andoy, for your generosity, and more power to you, more power to all of us educating the community, and God bless. Have a good rest of your night.
Maraming salamat, and looking forward to the next webcode, coach.
We'll definitely reach out, Rochelle and myself. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Happy weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, give me a second. Ayan, nahilot na nga natin si Sir. No, definitely, we're gonna be partnering with Metrobank, First Metro Securities, as our partner in the stock market world, no? Sabi ko nga sa inyo, marami tayong inihanda para sa inyo, Miranda, not just on the stock market world. Tayo ay maghahanap ng mga kilalang tao in the stock market world, at napaka-generous, no? Napaka-swerte po natin na nakuha natin ng napaka-busy na tao na si Sir Andoy. No? Hindi tayo matatapos dito. Tayo ay lalago bilang isang investor, not just on the cryptocurrency. We're gonna be expanding our horizon on the local stock market. And there's no other way to start the market but by inviting a world-class platform, which is First Metro Securities of Metrobank. No? So more to come, more partnerships. Lalaki po ang global Miranda Miner community. Tayo magkakaroon ng stock market community. Abangan nyo yan. At sabi ko nga sa inyo, hindi tayo titigil to really educate. No? Iba-iba kasi ang ating stock appetite or risk appetite. No? Sabi nga ni Andoy kanina, it depends on, no, your risk appetite, no? And you will notice iba-iba kami ng perspective, no? Meron kaming common denominator in this particular perspective, no? Parehas kami ng sinasabi on supply chain, parehas kami ng sinasabi on the economy. iba ang aming perspective on stock picks. Iba-iba naman talaga depending on saan ka nang galing, no? But definitely, Miranda, more and more and more and more and more to come. We're gonna, kung di nyo narinig, they're gonna be giving away a raffle of a pro account, 3 pro account. I-raffle nila yan on the next couple of engagements. And more to come on that, Miranda. No? Santayin mo yan. And of course, speaking of raffle, tayo po ay magra-raffle na ngayon ng 1,000 pesos. No? Tayo ay magra-raffle ng 1,000 pesos in YouTube. No? Sino kaya ang mananalo ng ating YouTube raffle for tonight? Naku, hinahabol na ako sa basketball. Nako. Kailangan lumipad na ako doon, Miranda. Bilisan na po natin. I need to be in the basketball ready. Wala muna tayong mga charting today, ha? So, dito muna tayo sa ating raffle for again, thank you, Sir Andoy, for the generosity and I really appreciate your... Grabe, napakatalino ng taong yan. Grabe, narinig niyo yung background, di ba? So, talagang... busog-lusog tayo today, no? Ang dami nating nakuhang information, 'di ba? YouTube comment picker, let's go and let's do this, Miranda. All right. Nabusog ka na, may raffle pa, napakagrabe, natuto ka na, walang hype, walang anything, no? Pure learning, no? Pure learning, Miranda. Let's now do this. I have a total of anong klase to? 90 comments lang? Bakit 90 comments lang ang nag-comment? 90 lang ang mananalo? Ay, grabe naman. Bakit ganon? Bakit naman ganon? Ha? Bakit naman ganon? Bakit 90 lang ang mananalo ngayon? Nag-comment na ba kayo? Ha? Mag-comment kayo, Miranda. Sayang yung 1,000 pesos. Ha? Sayang yung 1,000 pesos. Mag-comment na kayo dyan sa link na binigay natin. Ha? No? Careful but profitable. No? Careful but profitable. Ang ating comment for today, careful but profitable. Iko-comment nyo yan dyan sa ating YouTube channel. No? Comment na kayo. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Magko-commercial lang ako na mabilis. No? Mabilis na commercial. Pagbalik ko, mag-raffle na tayo. I only have 90 comments. Sayang naman, Miranda, if you're listening today, talagang naghintay ka, mag-comment na po kayo. Mag-comment na po kayo. And thank you again for all of you that stayed up until this time. So comment na kayo, guys, please. Comment na. I'm gonna be doing a quick commercial break and I'll be right back, Miranda.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Pag nag-e-exam ako, yun makikita ko. Yun lagi nakikita ko. Tapos parang way of, winawelcome mo yung positive energy and ina-achieve ko, di ba?
Simple lang dahil bukod sa pagiging profitable at proven and effective ang Miranda Miner trading system, napakarami mong pwedeng matutunan kay Coach Miranda Miner na hindi mo matutunan sa ibang mga mentor.
Ako po kasi talagang ang hinahanap-hanap ko yung one-on-one coaching. Gusto ko po kasi magkaroon ng personal relationship sa coach or mentor ko. Matanong kasi ako. Kaya perfect po talaga para sa akin ang mentoring class.
Mapapolish mo talaga yung skills mo as a trader at kung anong types of trader ka. Para dun sa mga taong nagdadalawang isip o natatakot na subukan yung crypto trading or alamin yung crypto trading, nahan dito ang Global Miranda Mining System para i-provide sa inyo ang mga necessary data in a way na mas madali nyo siyang maiintindihan.
Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons.
Alright, guys. Uy, huwag kayo mag-comment sa live. Mag-comment kayo dun sa video na pinakita ko kanina. Dito kayo mag-comment sa video ito. Dito kayo magko-comment. Oh. Yan, si Ruther Jen. 32 seconds ago. Yan, meron na siyang entry. Diba? Galing. Magaling. Meron na siyang entry. Sino pa? Yan, Marco Hernandez. Billy Joe. Supercalifragilistic. Thank you. Gab Odonio. Yan. Christian Mendoza. Uy, si Christian. Kenneth. Yan. Mag-comment kayo dyan, no? And magra-raffle na po tayo ng dalawang mananalo ng 500 pesos each. No? You will just need to email me, coach@globalmirandaminer.com. No? coach@globalmirandaminer.com. Okay? Alright, thank you then, Jen Romero. Napakagandang comment. Maraming salamat. So let's now go on and raffle our first winner for the day. Our first winner is Antiaro. Antiaro, congratulations. Thank you. Alright, and then let's now go with the next winner. Please email me, ha? Please email me that you have won, and make sure that your Bing X is under my referral ID. The next winner is, okay, Billy Joe TV. Billy Joe TV, nanalo ka ng special prize. Email mo ako, coach@globalmirandaminer.com. Alright, there you go, Kamiranda. Maraming salamat po. I'm gonna be there in Pasay Stadium for the basketball. Punta na ako dyan. And see you all, Kamiranda, there. God bless you. I love you 3,000. Again, thank you, Sir Andoy, for your wisdom and support on educating our community. Kamiranda, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to click on subscribe and like our video para ikaw din, you're updated for everything. Cryptocurrency and now stock market. Woo! Diba? There's no other show that can give you this in one channel, no, na talagang education. Well, meron tayong ka-partner si Kuya Vlogs, no? Magaling yan si Kuya Tito Vlogs, no? Ka-partner din natin yan, tuturo din siya ng crypto and stock market. So kaming dalawa, no? And God bless you, Kamiranda. I love you 3,500 dahil inflation rate na. And I hope you're doing well today. Salamat po. And thank you. God bless you. And I love you 3,000.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Gotta taste